You're watching Canada's Weather Network. To help you plan your activities in the coming days, here are the short and long-term forecasts for your area. To upload your photos and videos, visit upload.theweathernetwork.com.
This local forecast has been brought to you by Bathway, the tub cutting people. Visit bathway.ca.
Well, yesterday being a holiday, many Canadians wanted to head straight to the beach, but unfortunately, the beach looked like this in Hamilton. You know, if you're a lover of storms, this was a really cool scene. But if you were slathering on the sunscreen, hoping to take in all of that sunshine and go swimming, yeah, the conditions weren't too great. And you know where they're also not too great? Atlantic Canada, and they're going to stay not so great through the entire weekend. Apologies in advance. Your forecast is really looking quite gloomy and quite wet. I want to show you the precipitable water that is in the atmosphere. We're seeing drier conditions move into Ontario, losing a lot of that humidity. It's actually a fairly cool day today. And then we see this stream of moisture that's just being pumped right into Atlantic Canada, and that's going to stay with you throughout the weekend. So wet, soggy, cool weather, that is in your forecast. Only 15 in Charlottetown, 15 in Moncton, Halifax, same kind of story. Montreal on and off with some showers today at 21, and we're only 10 degrees in St. John's. Now, we are a little bit warmer across Ontario, but in comparison to what we have been experiencing, a cooler trend today. We'll get there in a second, but I just want to show you this snapshot here just to show you how gloomy the weather really is going to be across Atlantic Canada. The further north you go into New Brunswick, the better the weather will be, the less chance of rain that you have in your backyard. Now into Ontario, we saw the thunderstorms yesterday. By the way, Share Your Weather is coming up, and we're going to take a look at all the hail that fell across Ontario yesterday. But hail potential is there again today, strong winds as well, and even the potential for this too. Yeah, we saw some beautiful rainbows yesterday after those storms passed. This was on Trout Lake. Of course, a lot of Canadians enjoying a beautiful waterfront. Now, as we take a look at these temperatures, You can see here this afternoon, humidity is not a big issue. Ottawa 22 feels like 25. Windsor feels like 26. Watch this change. Watch Thunder Bay here. 35 feels like 41 by the time we are into Saturday. The heat from the west slowly starts to push into Ontario. Now, places like Toronto and Kingston, Parry Sound, we're not going to see these record-breaking temperatures close to 50 degrees like what we experienced in British Columbia, but some of that influence is on the way. So Chapleau feels like 36 on Sunday. Timmins feels like 35. Still cooler across the GTA as we get through the weekend, but Windsor starting to feel like 37. Now, across the west, the thunderstorm risk still alive and well, especially as we have this trough moving through. So up and down the QE2, down towards Calgary, through the foothills out to Oyen, this could be a zone where we see some large hail, some very heavy downpours, and some strong wind gusts. And then tomorrow, that risk for storms does shift a little further to the east. So watching this zone here for that potential today. Now, let's talk more about Ontario storms right now. This edition of Share Your Weather, it's the story of hail. When these thunderstorms get a really good up and down draft, essentially water droplets, they cycle through again and again, and they become cool little tiny balls of ice. And that's exactly what was raining down through southern Ontario yesterday. These thunderstorms, some of them were pretty powerful. Sherry was able to capture this one in her backyard, her Canada flag blowing around everywhere. A pretty cool shot there with the water in the background. You can see the rain was coming down, probably a little too heavy in this region of Ontario. The road's starting to look just a little flooded there. And you know, sometimes driving in a scenario like that can be just as tough as driving in a snowstorm. Visibility is really low. You can see the hail bouncing here in Flamborough, Ontario. If you were having a barbecue yesterday, you know, you really quickly needed to get inside. Tara, that's a good shot from Millgrove, Ontario. Wow. That looks like snow. And Millgrove, Ontario was a region where Mark Robinson was traveling, and he was capturing some of these scenes for us. And this is really tough travel, you know, especially if you are hauling all of the stuff up to the cottage. The car is full. It's tough to see. This can be a very big challenge to drive in. Now, we do have another thunderstorm risk for Ontario today. We also have a risk in Alberta and Saskatchewan, and we're going to cover that here on the Weather Network. So don't go anywhere.
Storm Center informs you about upcoming severe weather.
It is so windy right now.
Whether you're on our app, website, or watching on TV, stay safe and prepared with Storm Center.
For our blind and low vision viewers, the Weather Network offers regional audio description weather reports during our local forecast